Hi everyone, it's Leona with Leona's Designs, and I'm coming on today to do a flip through of this journal I created for my grandson. It's his birthday today, and he is a cabinet maker. He's been working with wood for many years, and he works at a cabinet making shop and actually creates all kinds of things out of wood. So I guess you could call him a woodworker, cabinet maker, whatever. But he works with wood, and I found this journal. It's actually wasn't a journal. It was a photo book at the thrift store a couple of years ago, and I didn't really need it for photos, but I just thought this cover was so unusual. It looks like wood. It looks like faux wood, but I'm not exactly sure what they made it out of. This spine and this side looks like corn husks. So I'm not sure if it was made from corn husks. It could have been, but it's very unique, and I just thought it was beautiful. So I bought it, and I really didn't know what I was going to do with it. But then for my grandson's birthday, my granddaughter, it's her husband, and she said that they both like to journal and keep lists and write notes. And so for her birthday, I created her a journal. And so she told me, create him a journal for his birthday so that he can keep all his lists and notes in it. So I thought this would be the perfect thing for him to do that with. And I didn't make, excuse me, a lot of pages for writing. I made pages where he could keep little notebooks and sticky notes and things. So I'm going to show you now. I'm going to do a flip through of it, and maybe this will inspire you or give you an idea of what you might want to create for some grandson or man or husband in your life. So this part was already on here. It's this little closure that's made with some kind of twine and a button. And isn't this beautiful? And this little flower created, this was all on here. And this, where they tied the pages together. I'm giving them a pen too. Okay, so here we go. The pages in here are almost like pressed wood, like sawdusty. So I thought that was very appropriate too. And I got some images on Pixabay and off the internet, free clip art. So I did print some images to create, to put on the pages. And this was one I wanted to use this to say this journal belongs to Trey, because that's his name. And then I found this clip art image of a cabinet, and I cut it here so the doors would open. And I'm calling it a note closet. And I made this little notebook and glued that in there. So he has some pages he can write on and tear out if he wants. And I used some brads for the little door handles. And if you had some chain, you could probably use that as a closure, but I'm just leaving it open. And then this page, I just made a pocket out of a printout. I put a wood quote in here. Wood is the most versatile material in the world. Michael J. Fox said that. And I glued some paper for a background, and I just printed out some different pieces of papers to put in there loose in that pocket so he could write on those. And here I have another pocket. I printed this image out. It looks like a wood background. I put notes. I put some little sticky notes in there. So that's a little pocket. And then I created this little notebook just from some scrapbook paper I thought looked like wood. and I just put some plain pages in that. I stuck that in there so he has some writing space, and I did leave a lot of these pages like this. I didn't want to cover them all up because I thought they kind of looked like pressed wood. Here's another pocket with an image I found that looks like wood carvings, and I added some more pages, just loose pages, for making lists. And then this was another cabinet I found online, and I just glued that in there, that image, and I put 2 sticky notes there, glued on, so he can use those, lots of sticky notes. And this page is another pocket with some wood, imitation wood image, and a couple, 2 pockets, a little pocket and a larger one. This one has a sticky note. This one has a real interesting item that I'll show you how I made. But I also have this quote, "Wood is one of the greatest and most necessary things in the world, which people need and cannot do without." Joachim Radkow. That's a really wonderful quote to think about, that wood is one of the greatest and most necessary things in the world, which people need and cannot do without. It's very interesting to think about. So this little notebook is very cool, I think. On the front, I have just a little pocket with some loose papers. And then the back, it's made out of a printout that looks like wood. But then when you open it up, it's got this a little fold out, and it's called the Antiquarian Foldout, I believe is what they called it. I'll link the video below on YouTube that I watched how to create this. It's very, very cool. She shows you exactly how to create one of these and fold it, and it's really cool to make a little notebook with that. And since it had a little kind of pocket there, I stuck a couple of sticky note arrow things in there. I just thought that was cute. And it's got all these antique woodworking tools. So I thought he would enjoy seeing that, all those antique tools. So I'll link the video in the description if you want to go watch her video that shows how to create that. And here's another image of some kind of a wooden stand, cabinet perhaps. And I added sticky notes to that. And it's another quote, "Every wooden object has a story to tell." And I just created a background with some scrapbook paper. And then the same scrapbook paper, I just folded over and made a pocket here also, which I added some notebook paper. And then on here, I made a belly band out of some scrapbook paper that looks like wood. And I slipped this little notepad over it. Oop, I guess I got it stuck down there somehow. But it just slides out. And then this big paper clip here, I printed out on this free website I found. It's actually for teachers, how to create puzzles. And there was a woodworking crossword puzzle that I thought he might enjoy. And then there was this woodshop tools where you have the words and then you find them. I forget what they call that. Word search, I guess. So I printed those out and I just stuck them in there. Thought he might enjoy trying to do those puzzles. And I had this big paper clip that just worked out really good for that. I think I got these big paper clips on Amazon. And then on the last page, I have another little cabinet that I printed out, and I cut the doors open, and I just put in here, this journal was created by Mom for a Tray 2026. That's what my grandkids call me, Mom. And I just put that on there, and I'm adding this in there. It's this notebook that I found at Dollar Tree. It says, start each day with intention. It has notes for the day, tasks, and goals. So I put that in there for him to use each day. And that's it. So I think it turned out really cool for him. I think he'll really enjoy using this. And maybe you know someone in your life that you'd like to create a similar journal for. I hope this inspired you. It's kind of fat, so it takes a little bit of effort to get it closed. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed this journal Flip-Thru, and if you did, give me a thumbs up, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.